All right there, folks. So today we're going to delve into the topic of market research fundamentals here on CLV Boost. We're going to talk about what are the steps you'll want to go through as you move into a new market. Oftentimes we'll work with clients here at CLV. We'll have folks that might already have an existing seven-figure business, but they want to launch a new product or target a new market segment, and they want to figure out what's the best way to take the best swing at this new market. Other times we'll have folks that are completely starting from scratch, getting an entirely new business off the ground, or maybe they have a kind of a smaller business and they really want to make sure that when they get their first products and they build their marketing automation and get into email marketing, that they are going to have the highest likelihood of making sales, in which case they've got to go through their own market research process. So ultimately what we're going over today, and what I want to explain off the bat, is what we're really looking for is the way to take the best swing at our market. Okay, it's impossible to guarantee that any one particular strategy or approach or demographic group will be fantastically successful, but one thing that we can do is we can test our assumptions, we can find the successful players, and we can model the elements of success that we see elsewhere in the areas of opportunity that we see elsewhere, okay? If you're not doing any market research at all, and you're building marketing automation campaigns and a detailed email marketing strategy without doing any of this whatsoever, you are going to be in trouble. Oftentimes our bigger projects are going to start off with a good amount of this work. So what we're going to do today is talk about these topics, okay? In addition to that, we are going to actually go through an actual example of me doing imaginary market research for the most arbitrary business that I could think of, which is online horseback riding training, okay? Equestrian training on the internet. I've really never heard of it. I thought of it completely out of the blue, but I just want to add some tangible sort of follow-along process to what it is that we go through in terms of concepts, so you can actually see me doing this digging and research myself. So first things first, when we talk about refining our ideas and taking our best swing at a new market or market segment, again, whether it's for an existing business or a relatively new business, number one is we're going to determine our objectives and our assumptions. So this is not only our goals, which is our objectives, but this is what we think we know that we might actually not. That is our assumptions. What are we kind of assuming as we're stepping into here? So in this particular example, let's say that my objective is to build a seven-figure business online teaching horseback riding training. So I'd like to be the premier place for horseback riding training, specifically for young adults. So maybe I liked training youth equestrian folks in the past. Maybe I run a physical facility where we do equestrian training for youth or something along those lines. But let's just say that that's my niche. Okay, so my objective is to expand that instruction to develop youth equestrian folks around the world via an online site. That's what I'm going in with. Of course, my assumption here is that there's enough of a market for that. The assumption is that there are parents that are willing to pay for that on the internet, not just in-person lessons. And maybe in this particular example, again, I'm mostly going to be selling to the parents. I'm not going to expect 14-year-old kids to shell out X dollars a month to learn horseback training, when they'll just go on YouTube or something like that. Of course, they don't have credit cards. How will we be selling to them? In this particular example, maybe my assumption is that we would have sort of a big video library that they would just kind of pick from, and that we would offer them as entirely digital courses. We're in the modern age. We're not going to send out DVDs. We're going to live stream these courses, and we're going to offer them in sort of a big lexicon library. You can pick whatever area of horseback training you're interested in, and you can purchase a course about that particular thing, okay? And again, I'll be selling digital courses between, let's say, 1 and 3 hours each, about everything from, saddles to horseshoes to jumping over tall things. I don't know, whatever's involved in horseback training. I've literally no idea, but we're going to find out the hard way, okay? So these are my assumptions. My objectives is to sell to that market. Maybe this is an extension of an existing brick-and-mortar business or an extension of a passion and a mission that I have. I know who I want to sell to. I have an idea of how I'm going to sell the stuff, and I have an idea of what I'm going to sell. Again, my assumption here is that there's a big enough market that parents are going to be willing to pay for it, and that this library approach is actually going to be somewhat effective. I have to understand that those are, in fact, assumptions. They may in fact be completely wrong, but and I won't really know that until I hit the market, but there's going to be some great clues when I hop online and figure out who else is in this space. So what we want to do here is figure out who are the biggest players in this market. And by biggest here, what I imply is who is actually successful. There's a term we used here at CLV Boost called the Black Lamborghini test. Okay, it's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of a saying, but here's the idea of the Black Lamborghini test. The idea in the Black Lamborghini test is what you want to do is you want to go online, do all the homework you can, and find everybody that sells something like what you want to sell to people like who you want to sell to. Okay, so they're selling a similar thing to a similar market. Go ahead and grab all those competitors, every single one of them. Just find every single competitor that sells something like what you're going to sell to people similar to who you're selling to. So basically, we're going to find every equestrian video service that's paid on the entire internet. We're going to collect them all together. Then we're going to ask ourselves, which one of these equestrian video businesses, the owners of which of these businesses could, upon their own choosing, buy a black Lamborghini within this week or this month with the money that they made from this online business alone. And that what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of 98-99% of your competitors, because most people are small players, or they're not necessarily all that great. And we're going to be left with the businesses that are real, the businesses that are legit, the businesses that are making a lot of money. Oftentimes, this will also be the businesses that are growing quickly, especially in newer niches and spaces and software and other things like that, but certainly also in information marketing like we're talking about today. So Black Lamborghini test is, again, it's tongue-in-cheek. It doesn't necessarily imply a literal Black Lamborghini, but basically we want to find the folks who are making real dollars online because they are effectively marketing and effectively serving the market. The best players, the best, sharpest, most profitable competitors. That's what we want to find. Not the other random folks that have knick-knack websites, because we don't want to model, broke folks, and we don't want to model bad marketing. We don't want to model slow businesses. We want to model fast, extremely profitable businesses. And we're going to aim to put our feelers out there and figure out who that is. So we're going to do some online searches. We're going to particularly look at paid advertising. Okay, not always the best way to figure out who is a big player, but oftentimes if someone is willing to pay for advertising space consistently, if you're doing these searches month over month and on different search platforms, you'll often be able to kind of get a decent idea of who's a real player by who's running a ton of ads. Because most of the people that are running a ton of ads they either have a rich uncle who doesn't care how much of their money they burn, which is quite rare, or they are profitable. And so running advertising is a profitable activity for them. Most small businesses are not profitable with running their online advertising, and so it's usually a sign of sophistication, okay? At least some degree of significant sophistication. And then we're also going to look at forums and other centers of market opinion. So, of course, search is effective, and good marketers know how to show up in search. But what is the market really like? Your average kind of, parent who has an equestrian kid, or your average equestrian fan, what do they like in terms of online equestrian training? So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to look for who are they selling to, how are they selling it, and what are they selling? So we're going to question our own assumptions by starting with what do the most profitable folks do in these categories, and how might that inform our decisions, help us make a better swing at our market. So let's go ahead and look online. So I've gone ahead and made a couple Google searches here. One is called horseback riding online video. One is called horseback riding best horseback riding website. One is called Equestrian Training Online, and one is called Best Online Equestrian Training Site. So just if we look above the fold, we see Horse Courses Online, Equestrian Coach World, that's new. Equestrian Coach, we're seeing a lot of. Equestrian Coach showing up first here. Global Equine Academy, that's interesting. Chunky Gal Stables, man, that's I don't know, that's a little bit, that's odd. Best horseback riding website. Okay, the equine folks are not here either. This may not be online. I think equestrian might really be the term. I think this is a more sophisticated. Okay, here we have Equestrian Coach again. So already we have a somewhat reasonable sign of sort of who might be doing the job right now. Who might be most adequately doing the job of showing up for equestrian training. We can see equestrian coach showing up above the fold in 3 searches, 3 completely random searches. And they're taking us directly to their membership page, which is not exactly the greatest sales page of all time. I'm not sure how much these folks make, but we're going to dig around, do a little bit of homework. So already we have a sign. My spider senses are tingling about this particular business. We got some cred symbols here. I don't know if that means that much, but it likely means something. Let's go to about Bernie Turing or Trorig. I couldn't tell you. Let's just go to their homepage real quick. All right, if I'm going to be sniffing around and I'm going to be getting a sense for how real a business is, let's look at kind of how modern and direct responsive their homepage is. Get instant video. So if we click here for pricing and details, unlimited access. Okay, do we have an actual sales page? Let's see. They're sophisticated enough to have Yep. Okay, let's check it out.
The world's best equestrian education is now at your fingertips with stunning high-definition video instruction. Presented by unsurpassed Olympic and world-class coaches. Each month, new topics are added to keep you at the top of your game, covering basic to advanced techniques, focused on the American Hunter Jumper forward riding system of education.
It's pretty real deal. So this seems legit, as they say. Okay, seems legit. Reasonable pricing. They don't have a ton of copy, and the video is really short. I think they would probably do a lot better with some copy and some testimonials, but some people are going to recognize these folks by face. Most equestrians are not. I think they might be making an assumption with that. But it does seem as though they're making some money. So they do have some testimonials. These are marketing fundamentals. If we see testimonials, if we see sales videos, if we see legitimate and professional looking pricing options, these tend to be good signs. Okay, these tend to be good signs. Let's take a gander at their about page. I really want to know about this business. Training, blog, DVDs, Ask the Experts. I don't know about Ask the Experts. So we're going to go to the bottom. All they really have is about Bernie. This must be the fella who heads up the website. I'm going to go to the Contact Us page first. Sort of a weird looking page. Okay, not learning much here about this Bernie fella. So let's learn about him. Hi, I'm Bernie. So what's up?
Hi, folks. This is not about Bernie's accomplishments. You can read about those in the About Bernie text section of this site. This is about Bernie and my beginnings in the sport.
He's talking
about how I grew up in Syosset, Long Island, and how I became a horseman. I'm going to take you back to my first trail ride at 11 years old on a lead line with my mom on a rental horse. I didn't have a horse background. My family was middle class, and we were not horse people.
Man, this is great. So he's basically saying, here's my underdog story. He's building some affinity with the market. We could watch this whole video. I'm guessing that it's at least a B+ here. So he's got a little bit of a history of him and book a clinic with Bernie's official website. He's got his own website or something like that. They're not really telling you much about the business. But they have an affiliate program. That's another sign of some degree of sophistication. Okay, they have an affiliate program. That's a reasonably good sign. So let's take a look at how big their Facebook page is. A lot of the time, a lot of these businesses aren't that huge. 13K. I mean, it's reasonable. Their engagement's probably not great, and it's not apparently. It's not fantastic. But 13K for a horseback riding online training thing, not terrible. So this is one website. Okay, this is one website. If we take a look at our subscription options that he had here, it doesn't quite seem clear that they're necessarily targeting adults or children per se, right? We can't necessarily tell that right now. It certainly doesn't seem specifically targeted at children. That may be a sign that we are on the wrong path and that maybe it's tough to sell to parents. But it also may be a sign that there's an opportunity in the market. We want to get a sense for who the folks are who are interested in this. So this is one website. Okay, this is one particular website that was showing up a good deal. Let's take a look at who else is in this game. As you can see, we have horse courses online. Let's take a look. All right, we have
Hi, welcome to Horse Courses.
shaky, clicky kind of iPhone video. We have sort of like a 1989 pre-internet web design going on. You know, there's nothing inherently wrong. Right? These aren't. It's not a moral travesty, but it's clearly not a dead serious online business. My assumption would be that nobody is putting their kids through college with this website just by looking at it. Okay, where is the place to click to see the programs? It's sort of pointing us to some universities. Normally, universities are not exactly the best direct response, high return on investment businesses. You know, if it's tied to universities, it's most likely more of an educational resource. Not a bad thing, by the way. Bless them. The world needs that. But they're likely to not be, you know, dependent on this to pay their mortgage every month. So we have a bookstore. I don't really know. Again, we're sort of looking at they're getting some kind of cut through Amazon affiliate commission, maybe, you know, $4 a month or something from this particular subpage. Again, it's not bad folks, and the URL is probably very old, so they're showing up. Lesson samples, training performance courses. All right, so this is just like an article. This doesn't appear to be a tremendously serious business. Let's go ahead and look at. We have My Horse University, okay, and we have Equine Distance Learning. These are paid advertising, okay. This is theplace.org. Horseback riding. So we'll take a girls horse riding camp. So we have some physical camps. So we can see parents are being marketed to camps. This is not an online subscription. This is a camp. That's sort of interesting. We might want to take a look at that. Let's go back a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this camp. So we'll poke around a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to delve too far into each one of these individual sites, but I just want you to look at what I'm actually, what I'd actually do if I was assessing an individual market. So here we have a camp. Okay, what we might do. Okay, this is association with the YMCA. Hey yo, wealth. No idea. Not exactly sure what that means. Went to camps. This doesn't appear to be fantastic marketing, but let's take a look at the video. How are they marketing to parents? You know. There's jumping. There's skipping. There's fun. There's notepad pictures, there's bonfires, there's, you know, bonding and wholesome joy and fun and socializing amongst youngins, all right? Not tremendously surprising. And this isn't the greatest marketing site, but we can get a little bit of a gander of how parents are being appealed to. This camp does cost money, and presumably they're garnering some degree of interest. We could call them and figure out how big this is. You know, how big is this actual camp? How many people attend every year? If they're doing really well, right? If we figure out, I might actually, you know, I'm the kind of, I'd probably just call them. If they're doing really well, and you know, this thing's been jam-packed for years and years, I'd figure out how they're advertising and what other material they're sending out to parents that's sort of getting the job done, right? And even if I'm not selling to camps, I might want to appeal to some of those same benefits, okay? I might want to appeal in some way to something similar to the benefits that are getting parents' wallets out for this particular program. So equestrian distance learning, these folks were using paid advertising. Okay, they were using paid advertising. Course listings page. It's not exactly a classic direct response web page. They're not exactly driving us to an explicit course. This is sort of broad and open. I would actually doubt that they're making a significant return on investment on those ads. I could be wrong. It's certainly a wealthy niche, horseback riding. Equestrian is not for broke folks. British Horse Society certificates, okay. Preparation courses, short courses. So let's take a look. Horse health. So I'm just going to click around. First aid kit, treating wounds. So we can see what they're appealing to. You know, what do people want to learn? All right, here's some things that people want to learn. So maybe I had only thought about actual horseback riding, and I was not considering horse health, horse nutrition, treating wounds, things along those lines. And this might open up my eyes to other possibilities for courses. I'm seeing these folks teaching a pretty wide variety. We've got some nice testimonials. We've got a good call to action. It looks like Sarah's the person that runs the website. If it's run by a single individual, it's more likely to sort of be a under $2 million business. I don't know what these people are making, to be honest, so I can't speak to that. But if we're pointing them all to one person, who's probably the person that runs the show, it's probably kind of a mom and pop shop. EDL in the following ways. General inquiries. All right, we got multiple people. We have the appearance of some degree of strata of responsibilities here in this company. That might, you see something like this. You're a little bit more likely to think that maybe they're putting their kids through college with this thing, and it's not just something that they run out of their mother's basement, after their 9-to-5 job. News and offers, monthly features. Let's see what we got. Monthly features. Eventing, challenging hat, article of the month, clippers, yada, yada, yada. Now, where's the call to action for me to buy? There is none. That's curious. That's quite curious indeed. News and offers. All right, courses. Looks like they're selling a lot of one-off courses. Normally in the information marketing space, I consider high-ticket courses and subscriptions to normally be a sign of sophistication. Not always, but normally. And we do see a lot of high-ticket with these folks, which is better than nothing. Let's take a look at their courses really quick here. So we got alternative therapies. We do have pictures of children. There's a lot of children stuff. So this distance learning thing seems to be, to some degree, at least open to selling to parents, all right? British Horse Society owner certificates. After launching, began to expand the range of courses, 6 different categories. Okay, Sarah's an experienced instructor, having taught for 15 years, yada-de-yada-de-do. Again, quite nice in terms of graphics, though. It looks professional. It looks like someone's eating food off this thing. It doesn't look like anybody's getting rich. It looks like somebody's eating food. What do they got for Facebook followership? 419 people. Not a huge website, right? Not a gargantuan web following or anything here, but someone I would guess probably makes a living. I don't think it's going to be as successful as the first website that we were looking at, which appeared to me to be of sort of greater influence. Next is My Horse University. Okay, My Horse University. We haven't seen anybody targeting children directly, by the way. What we might do is call them and ask about some of their courses and say, hey, most of your customers are these older adults, or these people who are looking to train their children, who are really the folks that are interested in this stuff. I just email them and outright ask them. And then again, we could go on the forums and figure out who's sort of liked more than others. We'll look through this one last site before we sort of close up this topic. My Horse University. Okay, My Horse University. What is going on with this website? So we can go to About. I like to start with the About page. All right, started in Michigan State University. Again, if it's university associated, it's probably not serving the purpose of paying anyone's mortgage. It's probably sort of more of a general education goodwill kind of an entity. So we may not want to model what they do business-wise because it may not be paying for anybody's mortgage. Okay, history, yada yada yada. Nearly 1,000 courses. It's available through some kind of an extension school through a university. Doesn't quite appear to be. The horse is watching the video. That's adorable. So we've got some DVDs. Let's just see what they have here. Yeah, this is not. We don't have a lot of copy. We don't have We have kind of an older, 1999 web design here, 2002, 2001 web design here. It's tied to a university. These are sort of, these are not, and it says 2012 down at the bottom. So it looks like they haven't updated the site in a while. This is probably not a good sign for a real player. This is not a business that I would suspect actually makes all that much money. I think our best bet was the first website that we had gone to. This looks reasonable. Sarah might be paying the bills with this website. I'm not certain about it. I am relatively certain that fella Bernie was making some somewhat legitimate dollars with his website. That seemed to be the best spot that we had online, so I might be looking at them a little bit more succinctly. So this is a brief overview. And now what I might do, okay, if I'm going back to our document here, is I might take a gander at exactly what he's selling, what the variety of his courses are, how he's selling them, and then so who he's selling, how he's selling them, and what he's actually selling. So his market, we can dig a little bit more into his copy. Is he targeting parents? We might send them an email and say, hey, are these courses good for parents? Do you have a lot of parents purchasing these? What's the percentage of parents versus yada yada? Oftentimes by asking these simple questions to support people or just calling them up, you can even get answers. Even if you are a competitor, I've done similar things with folks in the self-defense space and other niches and industries that I've been in myself. How are they selling them? We could take a gander at what he's doing there, and then what are they selling? Again, the closest thing to a quote-unquote black Lamborghini test that we had found in our very quick search, which was not super in-depth, by the way, was that equestriancoach.com, which appeared to have a breadth of instructors. It appeared to have some nice subscription options and professional payment options there. It appeared to have nice, modern, direct response-oriented marketing. They had an affiliate program. These are all signs of sophistication that are pointing us to, and they showed up above the fold for 3 completely random searches. They are, by my estimate, probably, top of mind, the best folks that we could model in the market, but of course we'd want to dig a little bit further and see if there's anybody else in that space. So that will help us kind of validate what we're doing. If we look at their most popular courses, that'll help us determine which courses we might want to make first, okay? If a lot of the most popular videos on their YouTube channel, most popular articles on their website, most popular courses in their database are about, let's say, jumping, or let's say buying a horse, or horse nutrition, we may think twice about whatever we thought we were going to make as our first course, and we may start building it around what appears to be most popular based on who our successful competitors are. That may help us kind of guide what our first programs are. How they describe those courses may help us to describe our first courses. So we're going to, again, find our black Lamborghini test competitors, and we're going to aim to model the success elements and learn from from what is catching on in the market through the competitors who are already successful in our space. This is just kind of some of the fundamentals of market research. If you're expanding into a new demographic or a new product line, or you're building a new business, or sort of really aiming to ramp up an existing small business and really find a solid positioning in the market, this is the kind of exercise you're going to want to go through. Like I said, only the market can tell you if you're going to be successful or not, and that's by people voting with their wallet, as they say. But ultimately, through some solid market research, we can take a good first swing at what our actual marketing campaigns will be like, and who and how we're targeting, and of course what we're selling. So hopefully this is helpful for everybody tuned in. If you need any help directly with your own marketing campaigns, or if maybe you're interested in finishing up your own market research and then turning those into solid marketing automation campaigns to be able to drive some customer lifetime value, that's of course what we're here for. You can reach us at info@clvboost.com if need be. Otherwise, stay tuned for next week when we tune into our next video. I'll catch you then.